안녕하세요. 안차키입니다. Now, let's get a review of the expressions that we learned in our last lesson with 지승현 선생님. 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요. 안녕하세요. 지승현입니다. In our previous lesson, we learned how to ask and answer the question about where we are going. Do you remember? The expression was the name of the place followed by 에 가요. Where are you going? In Korea, is 어디에 가요?
If you're going home, you can say 집에 가요. Right? So we learned how to ask and answer questions about where we are going. Now in this lesson, we're going to learn how to ask and answer questions about what we are doing. Now here's a look at what we shall be learning in this edition. So let's go to the video.
여보세요.
마이클 씨,
안녕하세요. 김민욱입니다.
민욱 씨, 안녕하세요.
뭐해요?
텔레비전 봐요.
민욱 씨, 뭐예요?
저는 전화해요.
네.
Could you understand everything in the skit? Well, in the skit, Minuk calls Michael on the telephone and asks him what he is doing. Now, Michael, of course, being cheeky, answers that he's on the phone. Okay, then, let's get a check of what will be in this lesson. This time, we're going to learn how to form the present tense for some verbs. All we have to do is add ayo to the verb stem, and it becomes the present tense. The second thing we'll learn is the word order for objects and verbs. Now, words that denote some form of action are called verbs, right? Let's try our hand at some basic Korean verbs.
가다, 가다, 보다, 보다, 만나다, 만나다, 살다, 살다.
You're on your way. Okay, let's go back to the video clip one more time to see what we're going to be learning.
텔레비전 봐요. 텔레비전 봐요.
Michael is watching television, so what was his answer?
Yes, that's right. The basic form of 봐요 is 보다. So you have to look it up in the dictionary under 보다.
All Korean verbs end with the letter ta. Now, it changes depending on the tense and also the person that we are addressing it to. Right. Now, this time we're going to learn how to form the present tense by adding ayo, as in 봐요. The words to the right are in their infinitive form. We'll leave the verb stem and add ayo to come up with the word on the right. Let's try reading it together.
가다, 가요, 보다, 봐요, 만나다, 만나요, 살다, 살아요.
That was very good. Now, some of you may have noticed that there's a similarity in the verbs that we have just learned. Now, the similarity lies in the fact that all the final vowel sounds in these verbs end in either a or o. Now, this is the case in 가다 and 보다. You notice that it ends in 가 and 보. And so these verbs have to have ayo added to them in order to form the present tense.
But we don't just add ayo in any way. We have some rules. Let's find out. First of all, when the final vowel sound in the verb stem is a, we don't say 가요, but we omit the a to make it simply 가요. Because ka and a use the same vowel, we can just say 가. In a similar way, 만나다 becomes 만나요. When the verb stem ends with the vowel sound o, we add the vowels together. So in this case, it's not 보아요. But the correct way to say it is 봐요. In the case of 살다, all we have to do is add 아요 to make it 살아요.
Oh, we've covered so many things today, and of course you know that the best way to memorize them is repetition. So please listen carefully.
가다, 가요. 가다, 가요. 보다, 봐요. 보다, 봐요. 만나다, 만나요. 만나다, 만나요. 살다, 살아요. 살다, 살아요.
텔레비전 봐요.
저는 전화해요.
Now we're going to learn how to place the object before the verb. Now, if I'm reading the newspaper, how would I say this in Korean?
신문 봐요.
Yes, 신문 is newspaper. Now, in Korean, we have a different word order from how it is done in English. Now, in English, we place the object after the verb, but it's the opposite in Korean. Okay, the object comes before the verb. As you can see here, the position of the subject, I, is the same as in English. But remember, it's the opposite for objects and verbs. When the subject is understood between the speaker and the listener, you can leave out the subject. Remember that. So you can simply say 신문 봐요 and leave out the subject. And another point is that you can also leave out the particle 을. So please remember that. Okay, we shall cover this in more depth in our next lesson, so please remember that. Now then, please repeat the following sentences with the objects and the verbs in that order.
친구 만나요. 텔레비전 봐요. 선생님 만나요.
Let's get some practice asking the question now. Now, how would we ask someone what he or she is doing?
뭐 해요? 뭐 해요? 뭐 해요?
Let's try that again. 뭐 해요?
친구 만나요. 뭐 해요?
텔레비전 봐요. 뭐 해요?
선생님 만나요.
It's time now to learn that extra expression. Now, there was something Michael said as soon as he answered the telephone. Can you remember what he said?
He said, 여보세요? This is the word we use when we answer the phone.
Okay, let's say that the telephone is ringing, so you pick up the receiver and you say this.
여보세요? 여보세요? 여보세요?
Okay, it's time to wrap up our lesson by going over the video clip once again.
여보세요.
여보세요?
마이클 씨,
마이클 씨,
안녕하세요. 김민욱입니다.
안녕하세요. 김민욱입니다.
민욱 씨, 안녕하세요.
민욱 씨, 안녕하세요.
뭐해요?
뭐 해요?
텔레비전 봐요.
텔레비전 봐요.
민욱 씨, 뭐해요?
민욱 씨, 뭐 해요?
저는 전화해요.
저는 전화해요.
네?
We're going to go over the entire video clip again, so please try to keep the situation in mind and try to memorize those expressions.
여보세요?
마이클 씨,
안녕하세요. 김민욱입니다.
민욱 씨, 안녕하세요.
뭐해요?
텔레비전 봐요.
민욱 씨, 뭐해요?
저는 전화해요.
네?
It's time now to learn some Korean characters. Now, in this lesson, we're going to learn more about the character Piup. Now, it actually looks like the character Mium with a pair of horns. Now, let's learn how to write it. Begin with a stroke from top down, another parallel line, then 2 horizontal strokes linking the 2 vertical lines from the left to the right.
비읍, 비읍, 비읍.
We'll now add the vowel sound A to piup to come up with the letter Pa. Please listen carefully.
파, 파, 파.
Let's learn some other words using the character piup.
바지, 바지. 비, 비. 아버지, 아버지.
Now, what are you doing now, by the way? Of course, you're watching television, so do you remember what that expression was in Korean?
텔레비전 봐요.
Well, the next time you turn on the television set, I hope it's to watch us on Let's Speak Korean. Well, until next time, 안녕히 계세요.